Who's oppressing so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man? Who? Well, do we have to spell it out for you? Who's been oppressing so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man? Who we sold to? Who traded us on the open market? Who sold us for bondmen and bondwomen, man? Who took us across the Atlantic Ocean, both ways? The Native Indians were taken from the land of the North to the old world, to Europe, man, and traded, man, like the slaves, like the so-called Negroes. We were taken from the western coast of Africa throughout the African diaspora, man. We were taken from Africa, the dark continent, and brought to America across the Middle Passage, man. And I'm supposed to be thankful, you know, on the third Thursday in Thanksgiving, in November, for anything here in America, man. God damn America.
I.S.U.P.K.
Do you know any Native Indian tribes outside of the Lumbee? Who can tell me some names of some Native Indian tribes, man? Because in North Carolina, these are the tribes that once, you know, inhabited the land of North Carolina, man. And it says the Chowanoke, the Croatan, the Hatteras, the Moratok, the Socoatan, the Wepamop, the Machapunga, the Pamlico, the Coree, the Neuse River, the Tuscarora, the Meherrin, the Cherokee, the Cape Fear, the Catawba, the Shakori, the Sissepaw, the Sugaree, the Wakama, the Wakaha, the Wakan, the Chiraw, Eno, Kiawu, Okanichi, Saponi, and Totilo Indians, man. Let me ask you this. Where the hell are they today in North Carolina, man? Where are all these Native Indian tribes today in America, man? That's what I thought. Nobody knows. But they want you to celebrate Thanksgiving. They want you to think that pilgrims and Indians sat down and had a delicious feast, a cornucopia together, man. That's a lie. That is an absolute lie, man. But John says to what?
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
That's right. Truth is knowing, man, that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians should never, ever celebrate any of the oppressors' holidays, man. When we celebrate the oppressors' holidays, we get destroyed. We get separated. We get removed from our protection, from our power. The Lord don't recognize us when we celebrate Thanksgiving, man. Big Mama's prayer is just bouncing off the walls in that room, man. The Lord has removed himself from that, man. He don't give a damn about what you praying about, what you thankful for. You don't fear him. You don't keep his laws, statutes, or commandments. He don't know you. What do blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have to be thankful for here in America any damn way? What do we have to be thankful for? Looking at Kyrie Irving and Kanye West get crucified, man. Read that again, brother.
The book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
That's right, man. We need to be set free from the bondage and the oppression of Thanksgiving, man. We don't have a pot to piss in nor a window to throw it out of. But yet and still, I'm supposed to erect a feast. I'm trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, man. How do we get our food in this place? How many people are familiar with WIC? Eating better today, EBT, man. SNAP benefits. Who knows about that? That's our existence. That's our reality, being blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. You gonna cook all that food for 1, 2, 3 days? For what? Ain't nothing to celebrate, man. Our oppressor, he basks in our destruction, man. It's a glorious thing for him to celebrate, you know, destroying 77 million Native Indians. He raped, robbed, and murdered for this land, man. And he's proud of himself. Look at me, look at what I've done. That's the oppressor, that's the spirit of our oppressors in this place, man. And here we go, following behind the oppressor. Give me Proverbs 3 and 31. Here we go, following behind the oppressor, man. Looking at him like he has something that's good to have, man, by the means by which he got it. It's a very shameful thing for us to look at the oppressor and for us to envy what he has, for us to covet what he has for our own selves, man. It goes against our laws. The water, sister, we appreciate your donation. Goes against the laws of God for you to do that. The Bible says thou shalt not covet, man. Tell them where you are, brother.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou not the who?
The oppressor.
Who is the oppressor? Who is the oppressor? Who's oppressing so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man? Who? Well, do we have to spell it out for you? Who's been oppressing so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man? Who we sold to? Who traded us on the open market? Who sold us for bondmen and bondwomen, man? Who took us across the Atlantic Ocean, both ways? The Native Indians were taken from the land of the North to the old world, to Europe, man, and traded, man, like the slaves, like the so-called Negroes. We were taken from the western coast of Africa throughout the African diaspora, man. We were taken from Africa, the dark continent, and brought to America across the Middle Passage, man. And I'm supposed to be thankful, you know, on the third Thursday in Thanksgiving, in November, for anything here in America, man. God damn America. I cannot wait for America to be destroyed by the hands of the Most High Power, man. That's what I mean when I say God damn America. We ain't gonna have to lift one finger being blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in the right spirit. We didn't lift a finger in Egypt, and Egypt fell. Pharaoh and his army died, man. What do you think's gonna happen here in America? All we gotta do is be obedient, man. We gotta come back to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And you can you can start by not celebrating Thanksgiving this year. Telling Big Mama, hell no, we not coming down there to eat no jive turkey and no Boston baked ham. We're not doing it this year. We're doing something different, man. Desperate times call for desperate measures, man. Say no to Thanksgiving this year if you black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, man. Our survival as a nation of people depends upon it. It depends upon that sacrifice, man. Think about the Montgomery bus boycotts and how powerful that was in crippling the economy of Montgomery, Alabama, man. Brothers and sisters sticking together, man. Opting out, not using a bus transit system, and depending upon one another, man. That's what we are called to do, being blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The Bible says for us to gather ourselves together because we are a nation that is not desired by our oppressor, man, by the other nations. Tell them where you are, brother.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
The thou is you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. Read it again.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
We ain't supposed to be envious of the oppressor, man. Don't look at what he has as being a good thing, man. I've always heard that the devil has the ability to bless you too. My Bible says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So when you think about, you know, who has all the resources, who owns every goddamn thing on this planet, man, it's the wicked. It's not you, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. We are on the bottom. We live in hell. That's our existence. We live in the barrio, man. We live in the projects, in the ghetto. We live in the reservation, on the favelas, man. That's where we live, being blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But it shouldn't be that way, man.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days.
Right?
And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
The Most High Power says, I hate. I hate. What is that word, hate? I thought hate wasn't in the Bible, man. I thought God was all love, man. My Bible teaches that there's a time to hate, man. Amos said what?
I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
I hate, I despise. What does it mean to despise something, man? And it's despicable, man. This is a low down, dirty thing, man. For us to celebrate Thanksgiving is a low down, dirty thing. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians got to understand that. We got to recognize that, man. If my brother was murdered, I'm not going to go sit with my oppressor who was responsible for his murder, man. That Botham John thing that happened, man, with Amber Geiger, that's Christianity. That's what you see, man. Christianity is nothing more than white supremacy to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. This is the reason why all the images of God painted as a white man, the images of Christ painted as a white man, all the angels, you can't get a black angel. All the angels painted as white. There's been a whitewashing of this book here, man. This is your constitution, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. This is our record. This is our history book, man. Good night. Read that again.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Not only does he hate and despise the feast days, the Lord said he will not smell in your solemn assemblies. This is how I know that the Spirit of the Lord is not in that fellowship hall or in your great dining room when you have a Thanksgiving feast, man. The Lord ain't there. He's not there in the spirit, man. He says, I hate, meaning that he removes himself from that. He separates himself from that, man. And you should too. If you love the Lord, if you really love God, you'd remove yourself, you remove your spirit. You will separate yourself from that feast of Thanksgiving. That ain't got nothing to do with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, but it has absolutely everything to do with the slaughtering of our brother, man, the Native Indian, man. I don't know why this thing is tripping. Read it one more time. Take your time, brother.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Right.
Verse 22. Though ye offer me burnt offerings.
Yeah, we offer burnt offerings, man. What are you preparing on New Year's? See, this is real ridiculous, man. We prepare collard greens and black-eyed peas on New Year's, okay? Then we go on to what? St. Patrick's Day? You know, Negroes ain't Irish, man. But you making corned beef and cabbage on St. Patrick's Day, man. What'd you cook on 4th of July, man? Glizzies, pulled pork, baby back ribs, hamburgers. That's what you making on the 4th of July?
Right.
On Labor Day and Memorial Day?
Right.
Then on Thanksgiving, what do? We make that jive turkey on Thanksgiving. That dry jive turkey, man. Bunch of jive turkeys eating jive turkey on Thanksgiving, man.
That's right.
It's ridiculous. Let's not forget about Christmas, man.
Right.
Where you make that Christmas ham on December 25th. This is what we do. This is a very simple thing for us to do this over and over and over again, man. You know, that's insanity. That's what we do. We do very simple things, following after the oppressor, envying the oppressor and his customs and his traditions, man. Why? What? Yeah, why do we do that? Why do we celebrate, you know, our destruction by embracing our oppressor's culture, man?
Right.
It don't make sense. This is the reason why the I.S.U.P.K, under Commander General YAHANNA, is doing the work of the Lord, man.
That's right.
We are here openly rebuking, you know, our family. You know, we want our people to come together, man. We want the kingdom of heaven to be on this earth, man. And you ain't gonna get that celebrating Thanksgiving. It's not gonna happen. It just don't go together, man. Go to Isaiah 1 and 11, brother Baba Kushar. You know, the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 11. We're talking about Thanksgiving, man. You know, and the reason why, anybody ever heard of the Green Corn Festival massacre? Nobody heard of that? Anybody? Do me a favor, brother, and read this. Don't worry about Isaiah, we'll get to that. Read this, Baba Kushar.
The Green Corn Festival massacre. The Green Corn Festival became a massacre in 1637, when English and Dutch mercenaries.
Our enemies, our oppressors, English and the Dutch, you already know who those people are. You know what they look like. You should already know what their modus operandi is, the way in which they go across the world, raping, robbing, and murdering, man. Colonization by the hands of these people. The who?
English and Dutch mercenaries, setting the village on fire. In 1637, the body of a white man was discovered dead in a boat. One body of one oppressor was discovered in a boat, man. No real investigation was done. Just a dead oppressor, man. Like, what's the dude? Aaron Carter. Found floating in his bathtub, man. Yeah, because he's doing what? Getting high off of aerosol, huffing. Ain't no telling what that oppressor was doing on that boat, man. Ain't no telling what kind of drugs they were embracing back then. Beyond opium. That's his culture, that's his custom, that's his tradition. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians say no to drugs, man. That's not, doing drugs don't look good on us. That don't look good on us at all, man. Being a gangster, we are the worst gangsters in history, man. That don't look good on Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This is the reason why we always getting caught. It's the reason why you get charged with the RICO. This is the reason why mass incarceration is a major thing for so-called Blacks and Hispanics, man. Because we're not criminals. We're royalty. We're God's chosen people, man. And he has an expectation on his chosen people. And it's not to be no damn drug addict or no mercenary or no gangbanger, man. Keep reading that. Armed settlers, which we tell our children were God-fearing.
Yeah, armed settlers. So those pilgrims, they forgot to leave out the muskets. They'll paint that big stupid hat that they wear and them buckled boots that they have, but they don't mention the muskets that they had. Keep reading.
Gentle, sharing, kind pilgrims.
Yeah, they say the pilgrims were God-fearing, man. Gentle, kind, and sharing. None of these things, none of these adjectives describe our oppressor. He's never been gentle. He's never dealt with us gently in America, man. He's never been kind. He's never shared anything. How you gonna steal the land from us and then relegate us to the land that has zero resources, man? Keep reading, loud.
Invaded a Pecan village.
It did what?
Invaded a Pecan village.
Invaded. That word right there is very familiar. What do? We invaded Afghanistan. We invaded Iraq. We dropped bombs over Baghdad, man. It's the reason why they call it Desert Storm. Because it was raining bombs over Baghdad, man. That's right. That's our oppressor today. That's who he was yesterday. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. Come over here, get you a flyer. Figure out who you are according to your father on this 12 tribes chart, man. We can no longer afford to be joined to our oppressor in this place. We can no longer afford to celebrate Thanksgiving in this place, man. We need the Lord to be on our side to fight our battles, as he did in the book of Exodus, man. Keep reading.
They also set the village, which included many children, on fire.
So they invaded the village. And they did what?
They also set the village, which included many children, on fire.
They set the village on fire, man. That's right. Good night. They don't teach this in schools. They want to do away with critical race theory. They're not even teaching history as it should be taught, man. What actually happened, man. You know what I'm saying? Truth is absolute. There is no gray area when it comes down to the truth, man. You're either telling the truth or you're telling a lie. There is no such thing as a half-truth. And what your children are being taught in grade school is a lie. There was never no peaceful union between early colonists or the Pilgrims, these Puritans, these God-fearing Puritans, and the native Indian, man.
We want no cowards in our camp.